Okay, hello everyone. Today is Friday, February 26, 2021. We have a couple things we need to get into today, of course. Nothing that's going to make the video that long, but New York won. Of course, we have to start off with them because I don't know what's going on with their news coverage again. I wanted to do a video on the results from City Council District 31. If you're not aware, the Southern Tier of Queens had a special election back on Tuesday. We have received the unofficial election night results, leading up to two candidates who have not received 50% of the vote. So it sounds like even if the absentee does get counted, we may not know if a candidate in that district could receive 50% of the vote. But we have two leading candidates in, again, New York City Council District 31, which represents Far Rockaway. We have to get into another disturbing story of anti-Asian hate crime, another incident. The police are saying this is not an hate crime, but we'll get to that. And we have other crime stuff we're going to get to from the Daily News today. I gotta say, the Daily News, they're doing a good job updating the crime section of their website. But, I had to find a way to get past the paywall. But, let's get into New York One's homepage. And let's just take a look to see what's on the homepage. So, we have this, right? Look, see? NYPD possibly investigates hate crime in Chinatown. And I will mention, Channel 7 was on the case last night. So, what off the newscast was at 11 o'clock last night. Okay? So, I'll mention that this is a very brief news article they have on this incident. Okay? Look how brief this news article is. This is not acceptable, New York One. This is really not acceptable. And this is only going to lead to the downfall of Spectrum. It's only going to lead to more people dropping them, I think. As a cable provider. And check the politics. Let's see if we can even check the politics section. If there are politics, yeah, there's the politics section. Let's just check the politics section. Let's just go into elections. How about that? Because you would think that they would have important news about that. Okay, so they do have something. So let me see if it's a long article, because I was gonna read from the Chronicle. Yeah. Okay, so they have a big article at least. So I guess I'll read this. I really hate to read from New York One, but under this circumstance, we might as well read this article. So at least New York One did cover it. Okay. Ranked choice count likely with no clear winner in special election for City Council District number 31. Okay. So, this is very historic because this could be the first time in New York City history that ranked choice voting could matter. And again, this is why I keep saying a lot of people have got to start taking this seriously, because the primary is coming up in June, and a lot of people don't realize that this ranked choice voting is really going to matter. Alright, so it says here, a special city council election in Queens on Tuesday could trigger the city's first ranked choice voting count, after none of the 9 candidates vying for the seat secured more than 50% of the vote. Now, remember this. Back on February 2nd, James Gennaro won the 24th district with almost 60% of the votes, and they confirmed that even with the absentee balloting. But I've been hearing reports that when the absentee ballots get counted, which, again, by city law, you are not allowed to open absentee ballots 2 weeks after the election. So they have to certify it starting on, if I have the date correctly, March 8th. So That's 2 weeks from the supposed election date of February 23rd. Okay, let's get into here. According to unofficial Board of Elections results, Sylvina Brooks Powers was leading the field with 2,613 votes and 38% of the vote as of 11:26 p.m. on election night. Coming in second place was Pesach Osina, who got 2,406 votes and 35% of the votes. So we only have two candidates who had 2 votes. So let's make sure we got the names correctly. So as you can see here, that's Sylvina Brooks Powers. And right there is Pesach Osina. Okay. Now, again, remember, you must have 50% of the vote. So, again, like what happened on February 2nd, James Gennaro had 50% of the vote. And that's why they didn't have to go to a recount. Because the other candidates didn't even receive that many votes on February 2nd. So, that's why it's very important, and I keep stressing this out, that it's going to matter for ranked choice voting. You know, we have a very big idea of how consequential this could be in June. Okay. Says if no one gets a majority of these first choice ballots, the candidates with the fewest votes is eliminated. The process continues until somebody gets more than 50% of the vote. So that's why they chose June as a clear path, because normally a primary in New York City happens in September. It's been tradition. But since we have this new voting system that was first permitted back in 2019, that's why we're doing this earlier than we normally do. So any of my viewers in New York City, you know, I would suggest to just circle down June 12th for early voting, and June 22nd is primary day, because this election is going to be very crucial come November. You know, I understand president was one thing, but remember, Bill de Blasio was term limited. So we have to take this election very seriously. Right. Yes, so let me just make sure we have the official confirmation. And again, remember, they have to wait until 2 weeks. So, wow. It says here that they have to wait until March 10th. Wow. Okay, I gave the wrong date. I do apologize. Board of Elections officials said that the counting of ranked choice voting rounds will not begin until March 10th. The delay will allow absentee and military ballots to be returned in time where it is expected to be a hand count of the ballots. So, let's just go into where this district covers. It covers Southern Queens, parts of Laurelton, Rosedale, Springfield Gardens. Plus it covers parts of the Rockaways, including Irvine, Edgemere, and Far Rockaway. So, that's why, again, this was a very important election. Now, keep in mind, and I will go to the Vote NYC thing for a second. I just want to confirm we have the dates for the Bronx. Yep. So here we go. So I just want to remind my viewers, if you're in the Bronx District 11 and 15, you're having a special election coming up on March 23rd to fill 2 other vacant seats. I know one of those seats, Richie Torres became a councilman, was a former councilman, then became a congressman, excuse me. So, that's one of those seats, I believe. You have all the important dates right here. So, just want to confirm. Oh, okay, here we go. So, if you are trying to get an absentee ballot done today, today is the last day to do so. last day to postmark registration form for the special election. So you have to make sure that you send it out today. You want an absentee? Do so today. Alright? Because we know that the early voting date will start on March 13th and it will end on March 21st. So that I definitely know for well. And again, if New York 1 does have a video, I will post it because they normally are on the case for the elections. You know, they focus a lot on politics, but, you know, for a good cause, at least they cover, you know, they cover other things when it comes to, you know, important people in New York City, of course. Alright, so we're on the crime section of the Daily News, so let's get to our first article. So, here we go. First article we are reading today. Random stabbing of Asian man near a New York City federal courthouse is not being considered a hate crime. Okay, interesting. So let me go to the original article. Oh, what's the original article? Okay. Okay, let me make sure I can zoom in. Here we go. Alright, police said on Friday that there's no indication that the suspect who randomly stabbed an Asian man near a Manhattan federal courthouse targeted the victim because of his race. But suspect Salman Mufani did confess to cops that he attacked because he didn't like the way the victim looked at him. So, we do have a suspect arrested, so cue the Law and Order music. We'll get some more details about the arrest in another article that I did find in the crime section. So the suspect is from Brooklyn. So this incident happened right outside the Manhattan District Attorney's office on Hogan Place. And then look how dumb this criminal is. You know, this is what I always talk about with dumb criminals. Look what this criminal said. I just stabbed someone. Where are the police? You know, it's just crazy. Oh, look how big the rap sheet is. He's now charged with attempted criminally negligent homicide, assault, illegal possession of a weapon, and carrying a fake driver's license. Now, Channel 7 last night was mentioning when this was breaking, they were claiming the victim who was stabbed wasn't going to make it. Life-threatening injuries. So, here we go. The victim, who was 35, was stabbed from behind with an 8-inch blade around 6:20 p.m. in an alley by the Daniel Patrick Moynihan Courthouse. Interesting. So, one thing Channel 7 did show last night at 11 o'clock, they showed the knife. They literally shot an exclusive video of the knife when they were on the scene last night. Here we go. Investigators believe he was emotionally disturbed. The victim, who said police was on his way home, stumbled and dropped to the sidewalk. Two passerby called 911 and medics rushed him to Bellevue Hospital in stable condition. Mojave's arraignment in Manhattan Criminal Court was pending today. So, let's see what else they have on the Daily News website. Just want to see here. Okay, so more details says the victim was walking alone near 3 other people. Okay, so 2 witnesses discovered him in a pool of blood. Yikes. Alright, so the good news is Bellevue Hospital confirmed that he is in stable condition, the victim. So, sounds like the condition of the victim is improving, from what I'm reading here. So at least the good news is this is not a hate crime. From what the Daily News is confirming, that's some good news at least. Okay, let's get into more stuff here. We have a drive-by shooting in Queens. New York One didn't cover this. A man was shot dead in a car in a drive-by shooting in Queens early Friday morning. Cops found the 25-year-old victim was in the passenger seat of a crashed silver Chevy Malibu with a gunshot wound to his chest at 12:46 a.m. outside Forest Park near Woodhaven Boulevard and Myrtle Avenue. Oh, my goodness. New York One option again. Witnesses told someone in the black car rolled up to the Chevy Malibu and argued with the occupants before opening gunfire, sending the Malibu careening into a pole. Sadly, the victim was taken to Jamaica Hospital but could not be saved. Driver was not injured. And then we're going to get to this last story. Let me just close this out here. Seriously with these ads. Man stabbed to chest in the Bronx playground brawl. Man was stabbed in the chest during a bloody fight with a rival on the Bronx playground. The 34-year-old victim was outside the Forest Houses on Caldwell Avenue in Morcenia around 6 p.m. Thursday when he got into an argument with a man known in his neighborhood as Donovan, cops said. It is not clear what the two men were even fighting about. As the two squared off and started fighting, Donovan pulled a blade and jammed it into the victim's chest before running off. Medics rushed the victim to Lincoln Hospital and was expected to survive. Cops on Friday released surveillance images of Donovan in the hopes somebody recognizes him. He was last seen wearing a black hooded sweatshirt with white lettering on front. He was also wearing black pants and gray sneakers. Anybody can call Crime Stoppers, 1-800-577-TIPS. So here's the phone number. Okay. So with that, we're going to finish this video. Look at this. See that? The Daily News is proactive. Oh, and look at this. Hang on, this is just breaking. Now they're saying the suspect is charged with a hate crime in Chinatown. Wow. Look at this. This is just breaking. Hang on, hang on. I was just about to wrap up this video. Hang on here. Yep, says hate crime. Cops initially said there was no indication of bias, but later upgraded charges against Salman Muhafi to attempted murder as a hate crime and assault as a hate crime. Wow. This is just crazy. So they are going to charge him with a hate crime. Wow. 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 So now we'll properly wrap up this video. But you see the Daily News, they're proactive in the crime. Right on the homepage. You know, that's the issue. Literally on the homepage of the Daily News, and I was looking at this earlier. Yep. I wish New York One would be like this, but no, they're not. So, that being all said, thank you all for watching, and until the next one, please take care.